So this happened in the early stages of my detailing journey. I was still a newbie. I was still charging fairly low for my detailing services, and I was actually completing a detail at an apartment complex. This was my first time ever at this location, and the customer who I originally was there for found me through Instagram. So we get there at about 11 a.m. I talk to the customer and he unlocks the vehicle and I start working on the vehicle. I believe it was like a 2013 Lexus sedan, and I was just doing a regular inside and outside cleaning. Again, this was in the very beginning, so if I'm not mistaken, I was charging around $45 for a sedan. But pretty much I'm detailing the vehicle and I get to washing the exterior, and this is where I should point out that this owner of the Lexus isn't the one I end up having the issue with. Rather, it's the next person or that neighbor who comes up and says, "Can you do my next?" from far away. He was a guy with, I want to say, a 2010 or 2011 Honda Accord, and I of course kindly responded with, "Sure thing, just let me know." So he walks towards me and approaches me and asks how much for that car right there inside and out while pointing at it. So I responded with the Honda Accord, and he's like, "Yeah." I said it's about $45 for an inside and outside detail, and he immediately stayed quiet for a quick second. It gets a little bit awkward, but he's like, "Oh, alright, I'm gonna let you know, I gotta ask my girl." Literally his words. So I assume he's not gonna want the detail, and I continue with my current detail, and as I'm literally finishing with the Lexus, the guy actually comes back and says from a distance after getting my attention, "You're good," while pointing at his car and giving me a thumbs up from a distance. So I was just like, sweet, another job, I'm already here, more money. I quickly said, "Okay, is it unlocked?" And he was like, "Yeah, knock on my door when you're done," and he gave me his unit number from far away again. So to get to the point, I complete the detail on the original vehicle I was there for, call the customer out, he checks it out, loves the job, and pays me. I move on and start on the next car, the other guy's vehicle, the other Honda Accord, and I remember seeing how stained and bad the seats were, but I knew I wasn't going to be doing anything special or extra other than a regular inside and out detail. So I start cleaning the interior of this vehicle, and I'm not going to lie, it was in pretty rough condition, but during this time I really didn't care because I was a beginner and I just wanted to get as much jobs as possible. There was a ton of trash, shoes, clothes everywhere, and food crumbs in the center console and the cup holders. Basically, I cleaned it all up, make that interior so much cleaner, and wash the exterior, take care of the windows, the wheels, and by the time I was done, I had to put in a good amount of work and effort into that job. So since I had just got this customer as a passerby and he didn't contact me through online or phone, I didn't have his phone number. But remember, he told me to go knock on his door with his unit number, so I go and knock, and I try not to be annoying. I knock a couple of times and he doesn't answer. I try to wait it out a couple of minutes before I knock again, and each time I knock again, I try to be louder. I do start to get a little bit annoyed, but I try to give the customer a reason. Maybe he's in the bathroom, maybe his TV is loud, who knows. It wasn't about 7 to 8 minutes later after he came to the door, and I remember just feeling relieved that he came out and I didn't just, get scammed. But this is where everything takes a turn.
And really quick, if any of you detailers, whether beginners or not, are out there hustling, getting those detailing jobs done, but happen to be struggling with certain things like taking card payments, providing accurate quotes, and even online booking or properly scheduling in jobs, let me put you all on Jobber, a software that helps you manage all of your customers and run your entire business operations smoothly all in one place. I can attest that using Jobber myself, with just my phone, I'm able to complete tasks like create different quotes, schedule in jobs, complete invoices, and collect payments all through the app alone. The way I see it is it helps me worry less about figuring out how to accomplish these things and focus on actually bringing in as much detailing jobs as possible while looking as professional as possible to all of our potential clients or customers, overall making it a win-win situation. Jobber is about the only software that I highly recommend to others when asked for recommendations on booking softwares, payment processing, and invoice generators, mainly because it has worked for me and it has all of the desired features in one place. Overall, it helps me handle all of the everyday tasks that come along running a mobile car detailing business, saving me time and removing additional stress off my shoulders. As a result, allowing me to stay organized and up to date with everything I have going on. So if you want to save time and focus on your detailing jobs to make more money and keep your customers happy, I highly recommend Jobber. So if you want to check them out, you can actually receive a free 14-day trial by clicking the link down in the description and secure an additional discount of 20% off your first 6 months if you choose to subscribe using my link. So you're welcome, guys. Now back to the video.
So he comes out and he literally doesn't give any explanation as to why he took forever, and at this point I was like, that's weird, but whatever, at least he came out. He said, "You're done?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, I'm all finished up. If you want to go ahead and make sure everything looks good." And he's like, "Yeah." So we both walked towards the car, and I should note that I did kind of receive a different vibe or different demeanor from him at this point in comparison to when he first approached me. He was just more serious, but I really didn't think too much of it. So he goes and opens the door, and he immediately says, "These seats are still dirty." And I, as a beginner, get a little nervous, but remain as calm as possible. So I stick stick my head into the vehicle and I try to figure out if he's talking about maybe I missed on vacuuming something from the seats or if he was referring to the actual stains itself. As I glanced and double checked that vacuumed the seat surface, I kindly asked, would you be referring to the stains? And he's like, yeah bro. So I quickly try to inform him like, unfortunately a seat shampoo is an additional service and it's not included in a regular inside and out detail. I did tell him that the seat shampoo service alone would cost around $40, which was nearly as much as the actual detail was at the time. So he doesn't start yelling or goes off, but he starts telling me like, what? That's crazy. I'm paying $45 and you're not even cleaning my seats. And I was just there like, this isn't happening to me right now. I quickly try to come up with a resolution and offer at the very least a $5 discount. And I wanted to say $10 at first, but I was just thinking of how much work that detail was. And I'm like, I apologize. I should have probably asked you if you wanted to get your seats shampooed as well. I can charge you $40 instead of $45. And if you want to, I can shampoo your seats another day because I have another detail to get to soon. Of course, all I wanted to do was to get out of there at this point, and not to mention it was kind of obvious he wasn't going to pay $1 more for an extra service. By this time I knew I wasn't going to receive a tip, and I'm already lowering my price by $5. So the guy was frustrated and he kept repeating that he thought the seats were included and that the other guy he takes his car to does it for $35 with the seats included. And in my mind I'm like, yeah right, but just to get over this and accept the loss, I'm like, man, I'm sorry, you know, this is my price. I just finished doing your neighbor's car for $45 and that was also a regular inside and out detail, but what I can do today is $35 just for the inconvenience. And you would not believe it, he was like, I'll give you $20 instead bro, like you did a good job on the outside but the inside it looks the same. So as soon as I heard this, I was just straight up annoyed, and while I could have just taken the $20 and moved on, because after all in this situation 20 was better than nothing, I decided to stand my ground and stop being courteous. Since trying to find a solution isn't working, I stuck my chest out and I was like, I'm sorry man, I can't take 20, I have my prices set for a reason. I already gave you a discount and $45 to begin with is cheaper than what other mobile detailers are charging. I cleaned the inside, I cleaned the outside, and we both know the car looks so much different than it was before. Now I said all of this, but I was okay with the fact that this guy getting pissed and saying, you know what, I'm not paying you anything now, not even $20. However, that wasn't the case. He was like, it's all good, I'm gonna pay you, but I'm paying you $35 for a quick wash. It's crazy. And I was pissed at this point because again, I put in some elbow grease on that interior, but instead of me saying something to justify the situation or respond in general, I decided to stay quiet and just give like a waiting stance. So he handed me a $20 bill and he was like, give me a minute, I'll be back. He walked towards his door and I swear I thought he was never gonna come back out, but I was really hoping he did, so I waited about 2 to 3 minutes and he came out with about $15 in straight dollar bills. He handed it to me, didn't say a word, and I was like, thank you sir. He fist bumped me and we each went our way. The right after, I was just like, what in the world just happened? This is crazy. I was trying to figure out if I did something wrong, but I came to the conclusion that this guy either wanted to get his seat shampooed for free or was planning to pay $20 from the very beginning. I had never encountered this problem before. Even people who didn't want to pay $45 for a detail would ask me how much would a seat shampoo cost alone. From that day forward, I made sure to set expectations with customers even when it was complete common sense, or at least give a quick summary of what I was going to do and what I was not going to do on a detail before I started, especially with customers who wanted a same day service or that my car is next customer. So what do you guys think? Do y'all think he wanted to pay the least as possible from the very beginning, or did he maybe want me to shampoo his seats for free? Let me know down in the comments and let me know what maybe you would have done in this case scenario. Luckily, I am no longer charging super low rates, meaning I am not attracting customers who want the cheapest prices possible and in the detailing world want their entire money's worth by being very picky and wanting everything to be perfect. The biggest overall lesson I learned going from charging very low to charging a price that reflected my expertise and time, and really anyone can take away from this, is if you do a good job and you're not afraid to ask for what your work is worth, you'll have no problem getting customers who value, appreciate you, and will pay you for your quality work.
And that's gonna be a wrap for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, make sure you smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and press that subscribe button, as well as hit the notification bell button to join my notification squad. Don't forget to watch another video down here. As always, guys and girls, see you on the next one.